TK Wade and Chris Buffaloe present Ava in Fairyland, a magical adventure for young and old alike. This episode, the King of Foxania.
Well, Hyjinx, I must admit that I had a ripping good time listening to your story. You are quite the talented hyena, sir.
I thank you. It has always been my delight to please visitors in Cackletown.
It was ever so fun, but we really must be getting on. I am worried that the foxes will catch up with us.
I'll be honest, Ava. I am a bit tired. None of us have slept since we left Tom Tom's cabin castle. I fear that we will all pass out if we leave town so soon.
I do not get tired, because...
The bunny is correct. But what about the foxes? I do not wish them to find us while we sleep.
I do not need to sleep, because...
I would not worry, Mr. Appleton. The magical path sent us far ahead of them. We should have time to stay here for the night. Besides, my long ears, which are very good at hearing, will detect them coming from miles away.
That is true, Rupert. Jasper is very good at hearing.
That is likely true. But where shall we stay?
Please, I must insist that you stay with my lovely, wonderful wife.
That is mighty kind of you to offer, Hyjinx. Will you be so gracious as to lead the way?
Oh, I cannot go with you. Although I love her dearly, she has asked that I stay away from her for a short period. If you have not noticed yet, all the hyenas on this side of town are male. Such is the situation for all of us.
What a peculiar arrangement. How long is this short period where you must stay away from her?
Only 103 more days. It is much shorter than last year. She has been far more generous than most other wives of Cackletown. But never mind. I shall impart unto you all the directions to my humble abode, and I assure you that she will be quite pleased to take you in for the night.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hyjinx.
Yes, Hyjinx. You have been quite entertaining. Hasn't he, Rocky?
Why would a bee help a bear?
Because that's just how it happened, Rocky. You'll never understand it without a heart, so there's no point in dwelling on it. Come now, we must head on to the house of Hyjinx's wife.
Very well. Having no heart, I did not really care either way.
Just down that way a bit. Fourth crooked house on the right. So long, so long. Wonderful meeting all of you. Come again any time.
Mr. Appleton, this looks like the place Hyjinx told us about. Mr. Appleton?
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about the absurd rule the hyenas have about never being able to visit their own wives. Seems like it would be a very lonely, sad life.
I don't know about that, Rupert. I still hear them laughing on the other side of the city.
I cannot hear them, because...
Now, just wait a minute, Rocky. What does missing a heart have to do with not being able to hear?
I was going to say that I could not hear them, because they were too far away.
But why would you just say that out of the blue like that?
Given that I have no heart, it does not matter to me if I say something for a reason, or no reason at all.
Well, that was interesting.
Good grief. Ava, sometimes I think this wolf is doing this to me on purpose.
He cannot help it, Mr. Appleton. Don't worry so much. I'm still trying to think of a way to help him.
I am certainly open to any ideas. But for now, let us meet this hyena wife. I shall knock upon the door.
What's this? Why are there all these people on my doorstep?
I beg your pardon, ma'am. Are you the wife of Hyjinx the hyena?
Yeah, that's me. And someday may I forgive him for it.
Oh, well, we made friends with him while we were passing through Cackletown, and he told us that you might let us stay the night in your crooked house.
If that is all right with you, madam. You seem a bit upset with the hyena at the moment.
Ah, no. I love the man. I just can't stand the jokes. Male hyenas can't help it, so I refuse to let him anywhere near me for long periods of time. His jokes give me these headaches which take hundreds of days to go away. I'm still recovering from the last time I saw him.
So, you really still love your husband?
Absolutely! I just don't want to see him. Can't stand those jokes. All the wives of Cackletown are like that. Oh, but this has been rude of me. My name is Doldry. Who will I be taking in tonight?
I am Ava Paige, ma'am.
And I am Jasper the Bunny.
I am Rocky, the stone wolf.
And I am Rupert Appleton the Third, and I shall be pleased to make your acquaintance, as I am sure you should be pleased to make mine.
Sure, whatever. Just don't tell me any jokes. As long as you can obey that rule, we'll get along okay. Oh, and tell the wolf not to break anything. He looks a little clumsy.
Ava, maybe Rocky should remain outside.
I'll stay with him and make sure he doesn't do any harm, Rupert.
Very well. Thank you, Miss Doldry. I am much obliged for your generous assistance. Let's all go in, everyone.
Rocky, just stay close to me.
Very well.
Announcing His Majesty, King Vultare, the first and only king of the great and powerful nation of Foxania.
Fool! I am already sitting on my throne. Why are you annoying me in the middle of the day?
What? Oh, my apologies, your foxiness. I fell asleep, and I thought it might be morning again.
You do this every day, you imbecile. If this persists, I may have to replace you.
I shall do my best, your majesty. But, oh, it seems you have a visitor.
Well, go ahead and announce him. I do not have all day.
Announcing the brave, honorable, and most revered Fox of the Army. It's just Private Dunfur, your majesty.
Your Majesty, I have come to report of my failure.
I see. It is such a shame that you would dishonor your superiors in such a way. You, of course, understand that they did nothing more terrible than give you proper orders.
I have done my leaders a great injustice, your foxiness. But Captain Slytail Red told me to report that, even though I failed miserably, I failed honorably in the course of my duties.
Then you shall bear both honor and shame, like a good fox soldier, a Foxania.
It will be my honor, your majesty.
Yes, of course. Tell me, Private Dunfur, of what method did you acquire such shame?
Well, I was commanded by the great Captain Slytail Red to attack Bunnyburg while he went searching for the missing King Jasper. We approached the city with great confidence that we would take control of it and, soon, the castle. We were hopeful that it would be easy to conquer while they were missing a king. Unfortunately, we were unable to enter the city by any means. Whenever we would cross into their borders, our tails would catch fire. Due to our multiple attempts and my own incompetence as a private, we have all suffered awful afflictions to our lovely tails.
Oh yes, your tail. Do me a favor and turn around a bit so I don't have to look upon such a dreadful thing.
How's this, your majesty?
A little more.
Can you see it now?
It will have to do. I suppose I can spare a healer for that ghastly sight of a tail, but I must say that I suspect a fairy may be involved in its burning.
Captain Slytail Red thought the very same thing.
Did he now? Then he shall likely be quite on top of things. But, just to be sure, I shall summon my chief magician to look into the matter.
Very wise, your foxiness. But if you don't mind me asking, if there is a fairy protecting Bunnybird, is it still worth pursuing King Jasper?
Of course it is, Private. Jasper may have the fairy under his control. If you had half an ounce of sense, you would have realized that. Now, remove thyself from my presence. The sight of your tail is making me somewhat ill.
Yes, your grand foxiness. I apologize for my unsightliness. I'll remove myself from your brilliant court before I ruin your day any more. I know my place, your majesty. I'm just a lowly private and very proud of my shame. Oh, I am so full of shame, your majesty. Only yesterday I was thinking how—
Enough! Remove thyself.
Yes, your foxiness. Here I go.
Finally. Huh. Send in Charmtail the magician.
Announcing Charmtail the royal magician.
You called my king?
Ah, why does he have to dance wherever he goes? Ah, yes, Charmtail. I believe that Bunnyburg is being protected by some sort of fairy. Can you use your magic in order to inform me of the details?
I shall do what I can. You can count on me, sire.
Ah, very good. I am sure you will, but I must now ask you to leave. I find your silly dancing rather befuddling.
Anything you say, sire. I'll find out in a jiffy, for sure.
There is something distinctly wrong with that magician. I fear he could have a touch of the insanity. Oh, well, I am sure he shall find out who the fairy is, and Foxania will conquer Bunnyburg once and for all.
Well, here you are. I've got all kinds of unused rooms in this crooked house, so might as well put them to use.
My, this house is quite spacious. I must extend my gratitude to you, Miss Daldry, for being such a lovely hostess.
Yes, and I especially love that dinner you made for us.
It was rather tasty.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad you didn't bother me with silly jokes like my loving husband always tells me. I would likely have to kick you out if you did. You'd have a good night, I guess.
Quite. Well, I believe it is time for us to retire.
I agree. I think I will just hop right into my own personal room here. Good night, everyone.
Will you be all right in your own room, Ava?
Yes, but, Mr. Appleton, can Rocky stay in the room with me? I want to talk to him a bit before I go to sleep.
I see no harm in allowing it, but as to having a conversation with him, I believe it would be easier to speak to the side of a barn.
I will take my chances. Come with me, Rocky.
I am coming.
At least he won't be breaking anything this time.
Rocky, be careful.
Guess I spoke too soon.
Rocky, can I ask you something before I go to sleep?
Yes.
If I could find you a heart of your very own, would you accept it?
I would accept it.
What would you do with it?
I would give it a home within my chest, for that is where such things belong. I am sure I would then care for others, as well as myself, from then, until forever.
Do you want that, Rocky?
I do.
I see. Rocky,
Yes.
there is one thing I still don't understand. How can you desire a heart when you would require a heart to desire anything?
Your point is valid. I suppose if I can then obtain a heart of my own, I will understand how to explain this phenomenon to you, and then there will be no confusion hereafter.
Oh, I see. No, wait. That is still confusing. I promise I shall do my best to find you a heart, Rocky.
Do as you wish, for I cannot care either way.
Oh, Rocky. Oh, good night.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Ava in Fairyland, brought to you by TK Wade and Chris Buffaloe. We hope you shall tune in next time to see what happens to our brave adventurers. The parts of Ava, as well as Doldry the hyena, were played by Anna Buffaloe. Rocky the Stone Wolf was portrayed by Lee Harvey. Chris Buffaloe took on the role of Rupert Appleton. T.K. Wade portrayed Jasper the Rabbit, and also Private Dunfur. The Fox Courtier was played by Evan Sutherland. The parts of Hyjinx the Hyena, King Vultare of Foxania, Charmtail the Magician, and also the announcer were performed by Sean O'Toole. All musical pieces were composed and performed by M.J.S. Shelvis. The script as well as the original story were written by T.K. Wade. This program is lovingly dedicated to the memory of Lynn Ann O'Toole.